Hey, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the country you are watching this stream from. I apologize for a couple of minute delay. Was just wrapping up my last minute work. Uh, just got bit late tonight because at the end of the day, client's project always get on the front, and your part-time gigs usually get the back burner. But anyways, nonetheless, we are live, and in this class we are going to talk about blogging. Why you should take up blogging? Who is a blogger? How do you make money blogging? We are also going to talk about the length of a good blog post. We are going to talk about how to identify the best keywords. Uh, Also, in this class, we are going to discuss the importance of picking the trending topics over traditional topics, and most importantly, the importance of social media sharing. Last but not the least, how can you monetize your blog and make money? I mean, what better option one would ask for than you write and then you get paid? What are the payment options? What are the platforms that pay you for writing a blog? Speaking about blogging, and from my first class, a lecture which probably took place in the last week of November, if my memory serves me well. We've got some amazing stories from Pakistan, from India, and from UK. Uh, one of one of the amazing stories is actually here, Dr. Asma Jabin, and she had no idea uh, about blogging, and not only she's running a successful blog, but she's actually her individual blog posts are getting huge viewership, and I was so surprised that I actually looked her up on Facebook, dropped her an inbox message, and congratulated her for this amazing achievement. And I would see if she's here to lend, and perhaps if she's comfortable in putting on a camera, maybe we'll take a chance and have a word with her for 10 minutes and talk about what she has learned from my blogging class, and how has she uh, convinced herself to write daily on different topics. So as the audience builds, I think we should wait for a couple of minutes here. So I started blogging accidentally. Most of you who know me, I actually wear multiple hats. Some know me as a freelancer who was ranked in top 10 in one of the world's largest freelance marketplace called Guru.com. Some know me as a freelancer who has done over $1 million in sales. Some know me as a freelance instructor who has taught at DG Skills and has taught over 1 million freelancers, 1.5 precisely. Some know me as a blogger. As a matter of fact, I'm live on my Being Guru blog as well, Facebook page. And some know me as digital marketer, and some also know me as someone who is good for nothing but appears on a camera and somehow uh, has got a flair of attracting good audience. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, uh, one lesson I've learned in the last few years is never depend on one source of income. And I'll be brutally honest here, just to give you a reality check. If you're dependent on one source of income, you are a touch distance away from hitting poverty, and it is very unfortunate, right? So for those who are asking me to speak in Urdu, you are either watching it on my YouTube or on uh, Let's Talk English with Isham Facebook group, or on a Being Guru page. And the audience here is international audience. People from different parts of the world are my, uh, would be watching this stream. So there's no point speaking Urdu. And if by chance you are unable to understand, I would request you to leave, because this conversation and all these trainings every single day, starting Monday with freelancing, Tuesday with digital marketing, Wednesday with social media marketing, Thursday is blogging, and then Friday is going to be another exciting day for YouTube and digital products. And then over the weekend, we are going to talk about business development, and we are going to talk about the importance of copywriting. Now, I accidentally came across this blogging niche 4 years back. So it was exciting. I mean, I was dependent on one source of income, freelancing, and then sadly, all of a sudden I got a reality check, the biggest reality check of my life. My work literally started going down the drain. So there was no sales. We were working on Drupal, and quickly, because of the emergence of WordPress and Shopify, and demand for these two off-the-shelf content management system, um, the demand for Drupal somehow started diminishing, and I just could not foresee this coming. As a result, not only I lost a lot of money in a year, but I also lost a lot of employees because I had to, let them go. So unfortunately, there's no bad feeling then firing your employee, knowing that they could be your asset. But unfortunately, every organization is dependent on a sales stream, and if sales is not coming in, you cannot run a show. And that is where I got the biggest reality check of my life, that never depend on one source of income. So I started exploring multiple avenues. I started not only learning new freelance skills, but I started doing digital marketing. I started doing social media marketing, and then I started doing blogging. So today we are going to talk about blogging. So let's just focus on blogging, and how I learned blogging, and how I learned how to rank on Google and other search engines, and how to get traffic from social media. And the, conversation will build as the minutes wear on here. So in 2016, one of the most prominent and biggest bloggers in the country, called Pro Pakistani, their owner happens to be a good friend of mine. As a matter of fact, I take him as my mentor. The name is Amir Atta. And he used to, every now and then come to me, or I would go to his office. And one day I just talked about the hard times I'm going through, because freelancing work back then was on a decline, and I had to do something. So he brought my attention to blogging, and the first thought that struck my mind was, why would somebody watch my blog? I mean, what is so good in me that somebody would watch my blog? And again, if I talk to newbies, if I talk to beginners, and I ask them to do something on internet, be it freelancing, perhaps start a YouTube channel, start a blog, the first question people ask me is, why would somebody even watch my content? And that is where you get yourself into a false spotlight effect. And when I say false spotlight effect, I essentially refer to the importance of we over exaggerating the repercussions, even though it has not even happened. And when I say we over exaggerate the repercussions, we over exaggerate, somehow we foresee the future, somehow we see people respond, somehow we see ourselves failing, and at the end of the day, we just do not get started. This spotlight effect is something which was, well pushed out of my mind by Pro Pakistani's CEO, and we had a conversation for good on 2.5 hours in my office, and he convinced me that there's not even a single blog in South Asia that focuses on motivation, that focuses on freelancing, that focuses on money-making opportunities on the internet. So I gave myself a try. I gave myself a fair chance, and to my biggest surprise, nobody took notice of what I've done. Nobody even paid attention to what I'm up to, and that actually gave me a lot of confidence as an introvert who's afraid of facing camera, who's afraid of appearing in the public, whose by no mean a public figure in 2016, and for someone like me to get sort of like positive response from my blog posts gave me a lot of encouragement. And from there onwards, it just kept on building over a period of time. So here I am, 2 years later, 2018, a guy who started as a freelancer in 1998. Here I am in 2018. I actually stopped freelancing. Such was the response to my blog because I was getting sponsorship posts. I was getting decent amount of payment and money from Google AdSense, from other payment partners. More on that later as I share screen and show you. But most importantly, I sort of like started to enjoy this digital product earning. Unlike freelancing, where I'm supposed to sit on my desk 24/7, I'm supposed to chase my clients for money 24/7. Excuse me, apologize for this. Uh, Unlike freelancing, where I'm supposed to hunt for new projects every single day. And unless I do not get new clients, unless the sales doesn't come in, I can't make ends meet. I can't feed my family. And this was one of the biggest reality check I got in 2016. And 2 years later, 2018, I sort of beginning to enjoy it. So I write a blog post in the morning. I would write a blog post in the afternoon, and a few hours later, a couple of blog posts in the evening before. I'm a night owl anyway. A lot of freelancers are night owl. So the response I got from my blogging career was good enough for me to convince that this is the future. This is my main bread and butter. This is where I need to focus on because I do not have to sit on my desks 24/7. I could give time to my family. If I do the basics right, again, more on that later. If I do the basics right, if I get myself ranked on Google, if I get a decent amount of traffic coming in from my different social media accounts, uh, I don't have to actually work all the time. I could catch up with my sleep, which I love doing. I could go on vacations. I love doing it twice a year. I could I could be sleeping and I'm making money. I could be playing cricket. I'm making money. I'm hanging out with my friends and I'm making money. And this was the most pleasing feeling I've ever got ever since I started working on the internet in 1998. Even though I searched to the heights of fame and then recognition as a freelancer who was ranked in top 10 in one of the world's largest freelance marketplace called Guru.com. And then, of course, uh, I was showcased on their Hall of Fame as the first South Asian who was ranked in top spot as a top seed freelancer. And that happened for 11 straight weeks. And the real challenge was, how could you keep doing this as you become old? And naturally, logically, you cannot continue to do it for over a long period of time. So my advice to all young folks who are watching this stream now is freelancing could well be a good starting point. You are young, you can spend your time, you can spend your energies, but think about multiple sources of income. So as you grow old, you cannot sit on your desk all the time. You've got a family to look after. You got to give time to yourselves. And if you are watching this if you're watching this on my social media accounts, you probably would have seen me posting my pictures while I'm jogging, while I'm stretching out. The reason why I do it is because I need to send out a very clear message to the youth that you got to look after yourselves. You got to look after your health. Because if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. And if you overstretch your freelancing career, there would come a point where you would wear out, you will burn out. And since I've been there, done that, I don't want you to go that route. Now for blogging. So 2018, I am a blogger who is making a living as a blogger full time. And I was hired by DigiSkills. And that's where I realized that why not go back to the freelancing career and start blogging, freelancing, and perhaps a couple of more options. So I took 2 years later, I took YouTube and a digital product. So now I have four sources of income, and pretty content with what I do. Uh, in a process, I have created more jobs. I have employed more people, and primarily, all of these jobs are because of Being Guru. Because Being Guru has been the main source of inspiration. Being Guru has been the main source of funding for all my part time gigs, my secondary gigs. Now, without wasting time, let's take you to the screen as we do every single day. Today, we're going to talk about blogging, and here you go. This is an email I received in the morning from Google search results, and beingguru.com is my blog. And in January, the blog received unique 16,000 clicks from Google search engine. And we are only talking about Google search engine. We are not talking about Yahoo. We are not talking about Amazon. We are not talking about the traffic beingguru.com blog gets from different social media accounts. By the way, it gets a huge amount of traffic from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course my YouTube, who has been a recent entrant in the whole scenario. Before YouTube, I was depending heavily on my Facebook page, on my Facebook groups, on my LinkedIn account, and on my Instagram account. So only from google.com search engine, I've got around 16,000 unique clicks. There's been 1 million plus 1.5 million precisely impressions for my website links, different blog post link, and 104 pages with first impressions, which means that it's fair enough for a blog that has just surfaced around the corner. Now, the reason why I showed you this information Google Search Console sent me in an email is because I want you to understand that if you want to scale your blog, if you want to get an exposure, and then, of course, in the process, get more recognition, you have to make sure that you get your blog ranked on Google, period. Nothing would, you know, if you get yourself ranked on Google for your business related keywords, uh, I think that would suffice. You have done your homework here. And I'm still not there. I'll be honest, absolutely brutally honest about this, because my primary source of traffic still comes from social media accounts. It comes from Facebook, it comes from LinkedIn, and now YouTube has also been major traffic uh, share for my blog. But the point is, if you can identify keywords, if you can identify a niche, if you can talk about trending topics on a given day, you just give yourself a fair chance of not only getting traffic on your blog, but also in the long run, you can index well on search engines. And in search engines, we talk about google.com primarily. Now, for those who are not familiar with Quora.com, Quora is a sort of like question and answering internet library where people get answers to topics. Lately, I think there's not even a single topic left on Quora that has not been answered. So Quora is like a question and answering site where you build your reputation by answering to the questions people ask, covering different topics. And I've been using Quora for the last 2 years. I've been using Pinterest, but then I stopped using Pinterest because I've been focusing on Instagram. At the end of the day, when you talk about social media traffic, let me tell you an interesting insight here. Facebook has got 2.6 billion users. That's higher than the number of cars on the road and planes in the sky all over the world. And with pandemic, post pandemic, the world has changed, and world has actually started using social media more than what they used to do in pre-COVID era. It means that as an advertiser, you can focus on these new numbers. It means that if you are good enough in building your social media presence. And in yesterday class, we discussed the importance of building Facebook profile to the point where you are able to literally get traffic to any other topic. So if you've built a good Facebook profile, you can add 5,000 friends, you can open your followers, make sure every post is public, and then whatever you share from your Facebook page to your Facebook profile, uh, and then you request your friends to share it on their walls, there's a good chance that a topic could, you know, uh, get trending. It would get shared more often. It would get more engagement, and most importantly, uh, at the end of the day, since the main source of the traffic is your Facebook page, people would like your Facebook page. They would follow your Facebook page. Now, I've actually uh, scaled up 3 Facebook pages following this same strategy. So I built my profile, then I started working on my Being Guru page. That's where I'm live right now as well. Then I started creating my Facebook group, Learn Freelancing with Hisham server. I'm not live in that group, by the way. And then I started building my personal fan page, Hisham server. Yeah, Nara, I mean, this is one of the amazing strategies, and no internet marketer sadly talks about it. Work on building your Facebook profile, add 5,000 friends, open your followers, make sure that you connect your Facebook page with your Facebook profile. Nobody knew me 3 years back, but then I started reaching out to everybody. There's no shame about it. If someone is living in Europe, I would reach out to them, gently introduce myself, and request them that can we be friends? And more often than not, anybody with the right frame of mind would not refuse it. I mean, why would somebody refuse it? They are on Facebook to make friends anyway. And that's how I built my community, my circle of friends. And then every now and then, whatever I've posted on my Facebook page, I would share it on my profile. I would tag few friends who have got a decent amount of following on Facebook profile, and I would request them to share my post on their wall. So actually, they're sharing the post from my page to their profile, just like I've done. And by following this strategy, I have received over 1 million likes, sorry, 1 million views on 6 videos, and one of the video actually fetching over 3 million views. That's beangguru.com page. That's where I'm live now. So my point is, you know, not many people realize the importance of establishing and building your Facebook profile, because not only it lets you do experiments with your Facebook page, but at the end of the day, you do not have to pay a single penny to Facebook. And at the same time, you're giving yourself a chance of getting more engagement. I have not spent a single penny on my fan page. I have advertised on Being Guru page, but I have not paid Facebook a single penny for my fan page, Hisham server, and what is it? I think I'm over 250K followers. So the point here is start leveraging on the opportunities profile gives you, and at the same time, build your page, build your groups, and build your audience. It takes time. Nothing happens overnight. Rome was not built in one day, right? So it takes little time. But that's how I've done. That's how I've, built my social media presence. So that's one thing, right? Second thing is the importance of LinkedIn should not be ignored. As somebody who has been surviving on these social media accounts, I think the organic outreach you get on LinkedIn is pretty much the same organic outreach you would get from Facebook perhaps 3 years back. Now, Facebook is pretty strict on, community policies, and make sure that, it makes sure that you follow their community guidelines. It doesn't like, unfortunately, doesn't like YouTube links, on your Facebook profile or page or any presence on Facebook, be it group or be it communities, whatever it is, even in the messenger, if you copy and paste a link from your YouTube, somehow the organic outreach dies on Facebook. So it seems like both companies are in battle with one another, and same goes for YouTube. If you supply your Facebook link of your page or of your profile on a YouTube video, I have experienced that uh, the organic outreach somehow dies. I don't know why, what's the phenomenon behind this, but it happens. So to combat that, there's a business to business social media account called LinkedIn, and it would give you the same amount of organic outreach Facebook used to give you a couple of years back. Even if you post a video, if you post a picture, if you post a link of YouTube or Facebook, LinkedIn has got no problems whatsoever. So more on that later once I share my screen. And then last but not the least, Twitter. If you can follow the trending topics, if you can use the hashtag handle, and if you can uh, somehow talk about emerging topics every single day, you just give yourself a fair chance of promoting your Twitter account. This is what I've been experimenting on recently. And even though I do not have a heavy Twitter presence, but I've just hit my 6,000 followers on Twitter. Nothing to brag about, but all organic, without talking about my Twitter account or my social media accounts, because I want to talk about politics. I want to talk about cricket. I want to talk about. Uh, I mean, go and find yourself out. I mean, why should I brag about this here? So, alongside search engine traffic, it won't hurt you if you drive traffic to your blog from social media accounts. And I do it very heavily. And I'm actually dependent on my social media traffic. And let me take you to, let's see, wait, just sharing my screen again. Give me a second. So there you go. So now I want you to go to my, how do I stop this? Remove, share screen, stop screen, share screen. Now I'm going to take you to my Google Analytics, which gives you an insight about all sorts of traffic uh, your website gets from, the keywords people search from, the keywords people search for on Google and other search engines, and all the sources of traffic. So here we go. I just shared my screen, and this is Google Analytics. You can sign up for free, and all you need to do is just put a link Google Analytics gives you, put that on your website header, and it will track all the traffic that comes on your website. Just few interesting insights worth mentioning here. This is my daily traffic, pretty decent, 3,000, 5,000, whatever it is. And if I take you to a traffic of last 3 months, it's actually 2.5 months, you would see that I've been able to get over 100K unique users, uh, or about 574K different page views, uh, about 3.5 percentage, which means bounce rate, which means that people who get on my website, they usually read the blog post all the way till end, and they just do not bounce out. Here's the ratio of new visitor versus returning visitors. So I get around 74.3% new visitors on my blog, courtesy social media traffic as well as search engine traffic, and around 30% of my traffic keeps coming back on my blog, which means that somehow I've been able to make them loyal and they keep coming back on my blog. So let's just talk about the country and the traffic. You need to understand this whole graph before I take you to the actual blogging class here. So 65K users come from Pakistan. The next in the line is US traffic. Around 10.5K traffic comes from United States. Then there is India, third in the list. Fourth is Philippines, and then there's Malaysia, United Kingdom, and the list goes on and on. Uh, if I talk about the trending topics people usually read on my blog, beingguru.com. So before I do it, here's what I was talking about. I Let me see if I can zoom it in so you can clearly see for all those who are watching this on their mobile phone. Here's a chart. So, like I said, majority of my traffic actually comes from social media accounts. 53.7% of my traffic comes from social media. Organic is 25.6. So the chart I showed you at the beginning of this video, where I actually forgot the number. Need to go back and see what was the exact number. So 16,000 of clicks in January and 1.56 impression, 1.56 million impression. I apologize. That comes from Google, right? And that's just 30% of my traffic. Does this sound music to your ears? Hey, Karen is from Philippines and she says, give me a shout out. So Karen, a huge shout out to you. Thank you. Now, so whatever you've seen in the graph was just the tip of the iceberg. The rest of the traffic is actually coming from 53.7% of the traffic is from social media accounts. It would be Facebook, Facebook groups, Facebook pages, YouTube. That's it. And this red slot of the pie chart of the graph, 14.5% is my direct traffic. So I'm going to show you how the direct traffic comes every single day on my different blog posts. More on that later. But if you see these acquisition of number of acquisition of clients, so social says 60,990 users come from social media accounts. Organic search, 29,000 people come from search engines, Google and other search engines. 16,440 people come from direct traffic. Referral, 6,950. What does referral means? It means that you got a blog post and somewhere you have given me a backlink, which means that if somebody clicks on that particular link, they are directed to my blog post. Now I click on all traffic. I click on channels. Loading as we speak. So there you go. The same information being given in a more elaborated form, along with the chart on the top. It's organic. Trust me, if it is linear, your blog is dead. So if it is organic, means it's breathing, and people are visiting your different blog posts. So about the behaviors here, let's just take a look at the behaviors in a number of different blog posts. So there you go. Page views for what is that selected as? Okay, still 2.5 months for just blog. You can clearly see if you're smart enough, there's somewhere AdSense revenue. I'm not going to point that out, but here are the trending topics. People are visiting often, either from Google search results or from social media accounts. This is why I love blogging. Now, whatever you see is just a traffic coming from either the search engines or social media. This traffic and the list does not include the sponsor post I would get and the amount of money the sponsorship post. And I can assure you the amount of money from sponsorship is actually 50% equivalent to what you get from Google AdSense. So just for a discussion's sake, if on an average, I get around, for example, $750 from Google AdSense in a month, I would get around similar or more amount of money from sponsorship post. So what does sponsorship means? It means that somebody contacts me and they would request me to write about them and give them a backlink. So I write a blog post and I talk about their business. I can build a story, and then at the same time, uh, somewhere in the content, I would paste their link, and I would make sure that that link goes directly to the blog post or an e-commerce website or a Facebook page or a YouTube page, whatever they want. And there are no free lunches, absolutely no free lunches. So now you understand the importance of having multiple sources of income, freelancing. Then how can we offer for sponsors? Look, you won't get sponsorship straight away. It takes time to build a reputation. Again, I keep saying Rome was not built in one day. So in the first year of my operation, I did not get much sponsorship post. But in 2017, I would assume by the mid of 2017, I started people, uh, you know, they begin to contact me for different sponsorship posts. But sometimes I agree to the price, sometimes I don't agree to the price because break, tea time, tea. Okay, back with you. So you build a blog post, you focus on building traffic. Once you start receiving good traffic, then you are open for sponsorship. And I think everybody should, make themselves available for receiving sponsorship. So I used to have a very prominent banner on my beangguru.com homepage that we are open for sponsorship. I removed that in 2020 because I do not have to, beg the world anymore that we are looking for sponsors because everybody knows now. Since we are getting a huge amount of traffic from Google, from different social media accounts, everybody somehow the brand recognition is done correctly, and people who know Being Guru, they know the amount of traffic every single blog post gets, and then I have opened the viewership on the blog post as well. So here's the thing. If I take you to my blog, beangguru.com, every single post clearly shows the views. Share, screen share, share screen, Chrome tab, Bean Guru. There you go. So once you land on my blog, you can see viewership clearly visible on every single blog post. So if a single blog post is getting around 134.6K views, surely it is getting a huge amount of traffic. 57.3, 13.2, 273, 630. These are recent blog posts. 2.3K, 4.59, 4.9, again, 5.8, 8.4, 3.2, 4.9, and the list goes on and on. 22.2K. I wrote this real time in my last blogging class. Anybody who was here from my last blogging class would remember that I wrote this blog post myself real time on I think it was Urdu training, since the timestamp says 20 days, 28 days ago, and I wrote it real time. Anybody from my Urdu class here who remembers? So for the sponsorship post, once you are once you're getting good traffic, reasonable amount of traffic, people contact you in your contact box, and then you can discuss the pricing. But forget about, yeah, a lot of people from Urdu class as well. Mashallah, mashallah. Okay, okay. So let's just come back on the screen here for a second. This, you know. This mindset of worrying about sponsorship post, the mindset of worrying about a price of a project before actually getting into the details and discussing out the specifics. This is what I'm worried about. Why do you even worry about the money for now? Money is a byproduct of success. Why not focus on success? Why not focus on building your reputation? Why not focus on building your brand name? Why not focus on success? Once you become successful, money would automatically follow. Remember, money is a byproduct of success. So if you're a freelancer, stop worrying about the price. Get more projects in. Build your portfolio. It would make more sense to show a number of projects you have completed in past rather than you worrying about money and you've not even started. Same goes for blogging. Since today is blogging, I'm going to focus on blogging, and I would uh, want you to focus on the basics. Try to build a brand. Try to become successful. The only way you can become successful as a blogger is to get people, visit your different blog posts. Uh, that's how it should be. All right. So, keyword analysis. Hushar, yesterday we spoke about the importance of two keywords, and I said that I'll do them live. Can you, if you are in a stream, remind me of those two different keywords? I think one was freelancing definition, if I'm not mistaken. Prajal, you are here as well. Mhm. Yeah. One was freelancing definition, another was best freelancing jobs. So I'm gonna work on. So here's how it works. As a freelancer, as a freelance blogger, you know what? Let's not worry about editing this blog post. Instead, let's just go back to the basics. The first thing one needs to understand and the first thing one needs to learn is how to find keywords that are easy to rank on Google. You want to get a major source of traffic coming from Google. In my case, the major source of traffic is not coming from Google, even though I'm getting a decent amount of traffic, but still it's by no means closer to what I would have ideally liked. So you want to focus on keywords that are easy to rank. And for that, there are a few tools that help you in identifying a difficulty for a particular keyword. So the first website is Neil Patel Uber Suggest. So neilpatel.com/Uber Suggest is a free website that lets you get exact information about a particular keyword. Now, I'm just hoping that I've not run over my free quota of performing 3 searches in a day. And if that's the case, we will have to go to another website. But I think I should be good for now. So I searched for a keyword freelancing definition, and Neil Patel's report says that this keyword is searched for 6,600 times in a month in USA. Its SEO difficulty is 20, which means that it falls in a green area, and green area means easy to rank. As a blogger, you have to do the keyword research first. You have to identify keywords that are easy to rank, that have got good search volume. Well, by good, I mean moderate to high search volume. And that have got less difficulty. Now, anything that goes beyond 28 in SEO difficulty column is hard to focus, and you would not be able to rank for these keywords. The reason why I'm speaking slow is so that everybody can clearly understand what I'm trying to emphasize on. So I go to keyword ideas tab on the left hand side. Once I go there, it shows me all the related keywords for the main keyword freelancing definition. Now you might just be wondering, why did I pick this keyword? The reason why I picked this keyword is because I went to Google and I searched freelancing. Let me take you to my another screen and then come back on this one. So stop, share. There you go. So on Google, I just searched for freelancing. Freelancing is a buzzword anyway, all over the world. Now, if I click on freelancing and I hit my space bar, it shows me multiple options, multiple search queries people are performing on Google. One of them was freelance meaning. We came across this keyword in my digital marketing class when I was teaching keyword analysis. So I clicked on freelance meaning and I saw that freelance meaning, if I go all the way to the bottom, it has multiple searches performed all over the world. Freelance meaning in Hindi, freelance synonym, freelance meaning in Tamil, freelance meaning in Telugu, freelance meaning in Urdu. So freelance meaning means one of the synonym is definition. You see, it says translations and more definitions. So we came across freelancing definition. There you go. And I realized that I have written an article about freelancing definition last year, and my blog post ranks in 31st search result, which means that it is pushed down to the second or the third page of the search result. Nobody goes beyond first page. People usually stay on first page. So if your blog post, e-commerce website, or your website is ranked in the first page search results, you have gained it. Otherwise, it's a far cry. Nobody's going to go to the second, third, or other pages to find a website link. So the, the idea is, since it's been a year and a half, and Neil Patel says he's an internet marketer, that you should visit your old blog post and you should revise the content. This would give you a fair chance of getting indexed for that particular keyword. Right now, I'm pretty much in the irrelevant search results, 31.8. It's coming from my Google Search Console, which I have signed up for. It's called Google Webmaster account. I'm not going to get into details of that because I've already shown you in the beginning of this video my search results for January. So all of that comes from Google Search Console or Webmaster tool. Now we are going to do something where we can increase our chances of indexing higher for this keyword, freelance definition. So for this, I'm going to take you revision after. Okay, so here's an interesting part, Dr. Asma. Neil Patel says that you should revisit your old blog posts that are written probably a year back. Try to edit them, try to refresh the content, try to come up with more information about that keyword, try to have, put in more pictures. Make sure the content is fresh because Google loves fresh content. Google does not want old content. Because when you are talking about relevancy, when you are talking about getting an information about a particular product or service or anything on Google, Google would definitely want to give latest and fresh information to its users rather than having a blog post that was written a couple of years back, and that information is irrelevant, that information is old, that information is not new. So as a blogger, it won't be a bad idea if you start picking your old blog posts that are probably a year old, revise their content, supply more information about that particular keyword, and then submit again to Google. Naturally, you have Google Sitemap installed on your blog. It's one of the prerequisite of Google Webmaster. So the moment you sign up for Google Webmaster account, it would ask you to provide sitemap.xml. It's a webmaster thing. I will request you to leave it to the technical folks and focus on writing and focus on keyword analysis. This way, you are giving yourselves a fair chance of indexing for business related keywords. Now, we have picked this keyword. We have established a basic fact that our ranking has dropped for this keyword, and we need to do something in order to get back in the top 10 search results for the keyword freelance definition. So, I want to take you to Google keyword suggestion of Neil Patel. I'm sadly back to this is one of the problem with this software. I apologize for a little mess up here. Uber Suggest. There you go. For those who are wondering what is Uber Suggest, let me give you a link here. The website, free website that lets you search for different keywords. It lets you identify their volume. It lets you identify different keywords for the main keyword you have supplied. And it also shows you difficulty of a particular keyword. So for example, if you look at the screen and if I'm able to highlight the very first thing here, the keyword here is freelance definition. And for freelance definition, the volume is 6,600. Unfortunately, I cannot zoom it because the page is created in frames. And if I zoom it, I will lose. Let's just give it a try. There you go. So I'll keep losing it as I zoom in. Unfortunately, you'll have to bear with me for two for 150%. I think that's a good enough zoom I can have here, but I lose the scroll option here. Content with 125. Good for now. Freelancing definition is the keyword we want to focus on, and it has got around 6,600 volume. CPC is 4.61. Don't worry about it. This is related to AdWords, Google AdSense. But briefly touching on it, what does it mean? It means that advertisers from all over the world are paying advertising money for around 4.61 US dollars for the keyword freelance definition. So, assumingly, advertisers actually come from Europe. Assumingly, advertisers actually come from US and Canada. So they are paying a huge money for this keyword. And as a blog owner, if you get ranked for this keyword, there's a good chance you will end up bragging around half of it, because Google would keep half of the money. And I'm not sure about the exact specifics here, but I assume that 40% goes to the blog owner and rest goes to Google. So 4.61 is the CPC. It's irrelevant for discussion. Don't worry about it. What you need to worry about is this green area. It's called difficulty score. From a scale of 1 to 100, if your keyword falls in the green area. The green area is usually inside 28. So 1 to 28 is a good difficulty and you can rank your keyword. But if you search for a keyword that is red and it shows SD of around 60, 70, 80, or 90, don't pay attention to that keyword because you will not be able to rank it. Okay? So you'll not be able to rank that keyword. CPC means cost per click. It's a Google AdWords thing. When advertisers set up their ad campaign, they focus on keywords. So for freelancing definition keyword, advertisers have probably placed a banner ad and they want to pay around 4.61 per click for this ad, and then they can drive the traffic. Once an ad is clicked, they can drive that traffic to their website. So if I go to Google again and if I search for freelance definition, in Pakistan I don't see sponsor ads, but if you are from West and if you search on Google freelance definition, there you would see on top couple of sponsored website posts. These are the same post people have paid money on. And if there's a traffic that comes from blog, if somebody clicks on a banner on a blog, they would be driven directly to a website as well. A same website you would find on the top search results of the keyword freelance definition on Google. Go and try it yourself. You'll understand what I'm trying to explain. Because unfortunately, the sponsored posts do not show here in Pakistan. So here's how it all started. I searched for freelance meaning. Uber suggested that I should also look for freelance definition. I started focusing on freelancing definition and I wrote a blog post. And this blog post, if you have seen my screen, is ranked at 38 of the search results. So I'm going to pick this keyword and I'm going to rewrite my blog. And I'm hoping, against a hope, that I get ranked in top 10 search results for this keyword again. Let's give ourselves a fair shot here. Let's give it a try, folks. Ready? If you're ready and if you want to see it, if you really want to see it, I want you to drop in the comments AYE. And then I'm going to take you to my back end of this blog post created in 2019. And I'm going to walk you through the whole process. Freelancing meaning was a keyword Google suggested when I searched for freelancing. And after freelancing, I hit my spacebar. Google told me that people are also searching for freelance meaning. Okay, fine enough. I picked that keyword freelance meaning. I went to Uber suggest. I typed in freelance meaning. Uber suggested that people are also searching for freelancing definition, freelance definition to be precise. And it has got around fair amount of search results, 6,600. So I wrote a blog post about it a couple of years back in 2019. Now, just shown you that that keyword is D-ranked and my search ranking has dropped from first page to third page. I was ranked in top 10 search results for this keyword, but now I've lost my ranking. Following the rule of fresh content, I am going to revise my content now, real time, right in front of you, and hoping that I would be able to reclaim my position in top 10. So if that happens, I would be able to add literally how much? 6,000 more people coming on to my blog post from google.com. Won't hurt me, right? So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Stop screen, share screen, Chrome tab, freelancing definition. There you go. That's a blog post. It was written by me in 2019, 16 April precisely. I'm going to take you to my back end of this post, but before I do it, most of you were wondering about the CPC, right? So the advertisers, now I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to teach you here. Advertisers pick the keyword freelancing definition, and for that keyword they are paying around 4.48. You can see this ad on the top, and once somebody clicks on this ad, they'll be taken to this advertiser's website. Now these are two different ads. D market is shown on the top on my blog. You can have multiple ads on your blog post. I have 3 or 4. People often complain that you got a lot of ads on your blog post, and I say this is my bread and butter. On the right hand side, you see Pioneer ad, and it's for the keyword freelance definition. So as an advertiser, Pioneer has used this keyword. As an advertiser on Google, of course, DM Market has used this keyword. Let's find out more advertisers here. Again, EasoCard, this company has also advertised using this keyword because many freelancers would ideally, one of the problem of freelancers from South Asia is being able to have a virtual MasterCard that they can purchase and then they can use online for making online payments. So if you want to advertise on Facebook, if you want to advertise on YouTube, or if you want to advertise on Upwork, if you want to pay for your membership fees on Upwork or Guru.com, you need to have Visa card. You need to have a credit card, and this website seems to be giving. It seems like it's giving Visa card services. Let's see if I can find one more ad. Enough of it. So I'm going to take you to my backend now. I click on edit post. One more as we speak. Express VPN. Freelancers need VPN, right? So I click on this cancel button. Should take me all the way to my backend. And there we are. Now we are inside the backend console of my blog, Being Guru. Here I see the definition, freelancing definition and benefits in the title. This is the actual blog post. And this is the picture, which is a featured image. Somebody would click on this thumbnail before they get to read the blog post. And then there's a widget called all-in one search engine optimization. It's a free plugin installed on the back end of my WordPress blog. It has got few settings. I'm going to show you those settings here as well, and I'm going to walk you through the whole process again. Okay, so bear with me. It might just get a little difficult, but I'll try to explain every single detail you ever wanted to know about keyword analysis and ranking for your business related keywords. Okay. So I go to Uber Suggest, and Uber Suggest says that the keyword is freelance definition. I click on this keyword freelance definition. I go back to my blog post. On the very beginning, I'm just stuffing in the keywords for now. So I remember the keywords I need to include in my content. The first is freelance definition. What else? What does freelance mean? Control C. Let's see if we can include this keyword here as well. And I would probably focus on one last keyword. And let's see if I can find one. Freelance meaning. Freelance means. Okay. Control C, freelance means, and there you go. So we got three keywords here, and I have searched for these keywords from Uber Suggest. You have already seen it. I searched for freelance definition, and Uber Suggest suggested that people are also searching for what does freelance mean, and they're also searching for freelancer means. Now let's just get to the main task here. We need to refresh our content to begin with. So the timestamp has to be changed by what do I mean by timestamp has to be changed? On the right hand side, you see the timestamp here. I click on edit, I select February, I select 4th of February, 04. I select the current year, 2021. The time would be probably 18 hours and 57 minutes because I'm about to hit 23. So I would ideally want to do it for 20 maybe. Okay, 21.57. Now with this, once I click on OK button, the timestamp is changed. And once I hit the update button, Google gets this new blog post. It is going to be a new blog post published on February 4th, 2021. Even though it was an old content, but I have changed the timestamp because I have made few changes to the blog post. Now, here's an interesting thing everybody needs to learn here. If you plan to just change the timestamp of an old blog post to uh, recent dates, and if you do not change anything in your content, you probably would not get into the chance of even being noticed by Google bots, because once they scan the previous content and they compare it with the latest content, bots are smart. They are trained by artificial intelligence. You've got to do something different if you are changing a timestamp for a blog for the bots to even notice your new change. Does that make sense? Now, here are the three keywords here: freelance definition, what does freelance mean, and freelancer means. Okay, so I'm going to change this to freelance definition, and first of all, I'm going to change the URL here. I'm literally changing everything here. I'm not worried about, I've got nothing to lose anyway. I have lost my ranking. The ranking for this keyword has dropped to third page. Nobody visits the third page. Nobody goes beyond the first page of top 10 search results. So there's no harm in giving it another life and at least giving yourself a chance. So instead of focusing on the main keyword freelance definition, I have picked what does freelancer mean. Okay? What does freelance mean? I apologize. The URL is changed. Now to the title, freelancing definition and benefits. What does freelance means? What does freelance mean? Okay. That's it. So the third keyword is irrelevant because what does freelance mean and what does freelance mean and freelancer mean? The third one is pretty much the same, right? So why even worry about the third one? I'm going to focus on these two for now, bold, italic. And once I complete my work, I will delete this. Never ever leave the keywords in your copy because Google would take it as spam. It's called keyword stuffing. Now let's see what did I write 2 years back. Let's see. So I started with in today's world, self-employment individuals. God, I used to write huge bogus stories back then. I'm gonna get straight to the topic here. Freelancing has gained huge popularity after pandemic in 2020. Many people wonder, people are making huge, people are making good money, freelancer, but there are people who still wonder, what does freelance mean? In this blog post, I am going to cover, I'm going to talk about freelancing definition, its meaning, and benefits for benefits. Okay, for, never mind. All the red lines are suggested by Grammarly widget. It's an amazing tool that identifies your spelling mistakes. Freelancing definition and give me a second here. I think it makes more sense. Freelancing definition. What does freelance mean? I think it makes more sense. Uh, let's discussing freelancing 2021. Yeah. Discussing freelance meaning, and it's important. It's a subheading here. So this one is main title. This is my subheading. This is a link of my blog post, and I'm going to come back to the content here. So free. Let's see if I can zoom in. No, that's the best I could do for you guys. Bear with me, folks. Freelancing has gained a huge popularity with the pandemic. What's happening? Borders have become crucial. Right. Remove this. Next line. Freelancing. Just editing it. Give me 5 minutes. Stay with me. Freelance. I'm just fine tuning the copy here for the blog post. Freelance is one of the terms that are used to refer to the type of workers who work on their own uh, and offer. There you go. Freelance YouTube instructor. So I'm going to give my YouTube link here as well. My circus, my monkeys. There you go. I would take users to a new tab. I would click on no follow link. Isham server YouTube. Okay. So first link, I've taken people out. Let's see what do we have here. Define the freelance workforce. The term freelance is used by people in a range of work settings. A freelance worker is defined as a skilled. to a different range of clients. Okay, this makes sense. What is freelancing? There are many terms that are thrown around freelancer. Common question is, who's freelancer and what is freelancing? Let's see if this link is still active. Need to make sure all the links that I've provided previously in this blog post are still active. So who's on what is freelancing? I'm gonna remove the link from this one. Just for remove. A common question is, who is a freelancer and what is freelancing? So what is freelancing is linked to my another blog post, and I am going to click on what is freelancing. Freelancing meaning. It's an alt text. Many of you might just not be familiar with the title and alt text, but don't worry about it. Just follow what I'm trying to do here, and then when I finish writing this blog post, I will explain the whole process in detail. Okay? Don't worry about something which you do not understand for now. I understand that you are a newbie. I understand that you do not even know what blogging is as a beginner. So I need to walk you through the process. But let me complete the blog post first, and then I'll explain whatever I've done in refreshing the content here. Freelance is a person who delivers services to the clients and not necessarily the one that offers business. When it comes to opportunities, I think this is a long paragraph, so you need to break it down. Okay. Freelancing in America. Focus on issue to detail. Okay. No follow. Freelancing infographic. The title. The title is usually given for search engines, so that they understand that the discussion is relevant. Upwork. Okay. IPO. Let's see. Upwork. Freelance marketplace. Just trying my best to supply every detailed information to Google bots. It's one of the in-demand skills. I think I've got too many links here. One of the most freelance markets. Now, you see, here's the problem. The reason why now I get the idea. I get the fair idea. There you go. I need to come back to screen and explain this process in detail. You know what? Now I understand why my ranking has dropped. Anybody who has been watching, the content there, do you understand? Do you have any idea why my ranking has dropped? Let's see if you can give your valuable input here. Let's see. Anybody who's been watching the whole process and now understands one main reason why I have lost my ranking for this keyword. As a doctor in blogging, I've took me 10 minutes to identify the actual problem here. I understand the content is not updated, but try to understand and try to get to the specifics here. What exactly was the reason why I lost my ranking for this particular keyword? No, lengthy content, that's not even a concern for blogs. I mean, if you can supply more information, it's even better. No follow-up articles in the same keyword. That's one way to look into it, but that is not a problem I have identified. It's stuff with keyword. No, that's not even a problem. I think I'll need to take you back to my screen here, and I would give you guys another chance. So I'm talking about 2018. I'm talking about number of Americans in 2014 was 53 million. I'm talking about 2017. I'm talking about old numbers. No. You guys are confused. You're not getting the idea here. Pay close attention. I have old information in my blog post. I do not have recent, up to date information about freelancing in this blog post. For God's sake, pay close attention. That's what I have been requesting, folks. Pay close attention. I have a content that might just be uh, pretty detailed, absolutely focused in explaining the meaning of freelancing. But the problem is, I've got old information. So Google would naturally prefer blog post that has got new and relevant information. World after COVID-19 has changed. You see? So I need to talk about 2021. And here I am. I have written a blog post in 2019. Yeah, Harshbeat Saab, you got it right, bro. But here I am. I'm talking, giving the old information. So I have to update new information. Now the problem is, and the challenge is, how do I do it? How do I do it? Let's get the latest freelancing information. So I go to Google and I just type in freelancing and I click on news on the top, and let's see if I can get new insights on freelancing. So I come across this blog post from Forbes. You won't be able to see it because, unfortunately, I can only share one screen at a time. But let's see if I can find some relevant information, and at the same time, I can give reference to this blog post. Crunchbase, stronger business. Let's see. Give me a second. This is where I am right now. Let me give you a link as well. This is where I'm right now. Give me a second, huh? Give me a second. It's okay, Khusha. Google prefers fresh content. Google prefers latest information. If you want to start a blog, I would advise everybody to focus on latest information. The reason why I say so is because, look, if you talk about top 10 smartphones, you write about this in 2021. 3 years later, how do you even expect Google to show your blog post in search results? Those gadgets you talked about in your blog post are probably outdated. New companies, new manufacturers, new smartphones would have replaced these older ones in 3 years. Surely it's common sense, right? Same goes for, there was a guy who called me in 2020, I think it was last year. He said that whatever I've written 4 years back, I've lost all the ranking. And my one point actually brought him back to life, because not only he refreshed all his content, but he was able to rank better for his business related keywords. So he was talking about top 10 celebrities, top 10 richest people, uh, top 10 athletes. uh, all of that information would absolutely uh, get outdated over a period of time. So you've got to supply Google with fresh content. That's a prerequisite here, right? Okay, let's be techie. I apologize. I must have missed your comment, bro. So the real challenge is, and I think I'm stuck here because I need to write about this in detail. I thought I would be able to do it with you in this live class, but this requires a complete information, because Crunchbase is giving a new information, TechCrunch is giving new information, Levex Global is giving new information. And if you look at the blog post I've just given you, every website is giving different information, and I need to go through uh, all this new information, and then need to populate my content with the new information. So for now, I think what I'll do is, perhaps that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight this so I know I need to change it. And then I'm going to change or refresh the rest of the copy. Again, I'm talking about 2015, very old information, very old information. Nobody's going to worry about old information. I'm going to bold this as well. A lot of irrelevant information. That's what I mean by maturing over a period of time. Now I'm going to get into more details here. Let's see what else do we have here. This one is good. Freelancing, work from home. This one is good. About 44% again irrelevant information, whereas 77% uh, pretty old content. Pretty old content. I need to revise every single thing here. 2018, 2014. Giving up here, folks. Giving up here. Because if I do it, it is going to take at least 1.5 hours, and I'm sure you would not be interested in watching the stream for another 1.5 hours. But what I'll do is, here's my promise to you guys. I will update all this information once I need to look into the latest updates and new stats. Once I update all information, tomorrow when I come live, I will show you what I have done, how I've updated the content. Because if the content is Islamic related, no, you do not need to update it. Old information is fine, because again, the competition is among all those who have got old content as well. So we should not only change the old published date, but yes, we need to provide latest information. That's how Google works. That's how Google bots work. So once you have the updated information on your blog post, talking about the length of a blog post, an ideal blog post would range between 500 words to 2500 words. If you can supply more information, that's fine. But if you cannot supply relevant information, then my advice is do not write at length. Sometimes you might have wondered that people with the shortest of information get ranked on Google. So if you were present in my yesterday's lecture, Z library is a keyword I am ranked for, and that blog post would probably have around 2 paragraphs. That's it. Does not make any difference. So Google would ideally prefer a blog post with less than even 350 words, but with relevant information. Yeah, I'm going to come to the trending topics, Reshmi. Uh, in a moment, I'm going to come to the trending topics, because right now I just can't complete this blog post because I need to do my research first, and then I need to refresh the content. So the idea is I'll do it after this stream and I'll show you tomorrow. Tomorrow is YouTube class, but I'll take 15-20 minutes and show you what I've done. Google prefers relevant content. Google prefers fresh content. Google wants latest information. Google is least bothered about old information, because over a period of time things have changed, technologies have evolved. So you, as a blogger, you have to continuously update your old content with the fresh timestamp as well as with fresh content. Now, many of you would wonder what is the best way of picking up blog topics. Now, there are many websites that help you pick with that help you choose different blog topics. So I'm going to take you to my screen and I'm going to show you Google Trends here. Okay, new insights. That's a blog post I was going through and a lot of new information. And I need to uh, gather this information and rewrite it in my own words. So there, it's going to take a lot of time here. Forget about it for now. Google Trends. Everybody wants to become a blogger, but nobody wants to focus on trending topics. When I say focus on trending topics, imagine how many people would have made money when they were covering US elections 2021. If there's an event, it's also called as event blogging, by the way. But focus on trending topics. For example, let's see what's happening in the world. So I go to trends.google.com and and it shows me all the trending topics happening all around the world. Coronavirus is a buzzword here. Everybody's talking about coronavirus. Then there is sports here. Then there is Golden Globes, Chris Pratt. Uh, then Google also shows you the past trending topics as well. So, for example, if I search for, let's say, online business, maybe, okay, let's just search for online business. The country selected here is United States. And here we see that we get related topics information, we get related queries information, best online bank for small business, PNC small business and online banking. So let's just change this to freelance, okay? The country is still United States, and the trending topics as well as the most related queries are freelancer topic, hourly worker, holistic freelance, graphic designers, accountant. For the related queries, people search for freelance SEO specialist. Watch out, folks. All the search engine specialists, you are being searched. As a matter of fact, you are on the top of the search results for freelance. Then there's freelance iOS developer. 3,000 plus searches done in a month here. Hollister freelance newspaper, freelance unemployment, that's a topic for bloggers, Rev freelance, and the list goes on and on. You can change the region of the country here. So if I change the country to, let's say, Pakistan, okay, let's see. Okay, refreshing the content here. So, related topics, data entry. Okay, that's fine. National Freelance Training Program. What is freelance writing? Upwork. That's what is trending here uh, on Google for the keyword freelancing, and you can select your country here, and you can expand the topics here. That's one way to look into the emerging and trending topics. You would be advised to talk about trending topics because people are searching for those topics anyway. The second way of finding freelance, second way of the second way of finding trending topics is by going to buzzsumo.com. The website link is buzzsumo.com. I'm going to give the link to you so you guys can do your research later. It's an amazing website that lets you find emerging topics, trending topics, and then you can pick those topics and write about it in your blog post. Even if you are a social media writer, influencer, always visit BuzzSumo daily and find out the topics. So if I come to freelance trending topics, It shows me all the content here, and there you go. Worker turns to freelance work during pandemic. That is why people like us have become more popular. Married freelance sperm donor in electronic is under investigation after fathering 23 children in a year. What was that movie name? Vicky Donor or something? Freelance journalist Rajiv Sharma was arrested for passing sensitive information to Chinese intelligence. And, then, freelance marketplace to buy and sell services. How to land freelance copywriting work. Folks, go and find your trending topics on BuzzSumo. Go and find your trending topics using Google Trends. Yeah, it was Vicky Donor. Yeah. I mean, the guy is a freelance donor. I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. Who cares about it? So, as a freelancer, as a blogger, the best advice I could give you is instead of um, worrying about old topics or mainstream topics, focus on trending topics. Now, here's another advice I would like to give you. And I hope that you take a good note of what I'm about to tell you. As a freelance blogger, please focus on micro niche. So, assumingly, you've got this flair for politics and you want to talk about politics, then focus on the politics of one region. Don't try to become an Express Tribune, or don't try to become Fox News or ABC News for that matter. Focus, on one topic. And inside that one topic, focus on perhaps select a couple of subtopics and write about this. So, for example, if you want to create an e-commerce website or a blog post for cricket, you probably would like to cover topics related to cricketers, test cricketers, ODI cricketers, T20 cricketers, cricket grounds, the pitches in those grounds, perhaps the ranking of cricket teams. Don't write about everything. This is one mistake I did in 2016, and unfortunately, there's no way to reverse it. So I focused on literally everything instead of focusing on one specific topic, which I should have done, of course. If I were to cement my place in the future as a prominent blogger, the first advice this new me would have given to my older self was focus on one niche. Do not, talk about everything. So I came across my niche because as a freelancer who has been doing freelance work for almost like 15, 16 years before 2016. Naturally, if there's one thing I had a firm grip on, it was freelancing, and I could go at length and talk about freelancing. So I did talk about freelancing in the first 1.5 years before making a mistake of diverting from the topic. And so I started talking about money. I started talking about Bitcoin. I started talking about Bill Gates. I started talking about motivation. I started talking about business. Uh, Even though I was lucky enough, maybe because I started at the time when there was not much competition in South Asia, so I was able to get reasonably good amount of traffic coming in from Pakistan, India, Philippines, and then Singapore. But since I got my blog ranked for business related keywords in US search engine, so as I showed you in the graph of demographics, the second biggest traffic actually comes from US. And honestly speaking, I won't mind all of the traffic coming from US, because if the traffic comes from US and if it comes from Google search results, I'm getting money. As a blogger, you want to probably rank in those countries where the money is coming from. So focus on one topic. I mean, micro niche would be the only advice I would like to give you here. Now, what do you need to know? What else do you need to know about blogging? And yeah, money making. So I applied for Google AdSense in 2016, and within 1 month, I got my application approved. This might just get a little technical here, but pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. A good website, Dr. Esma, pay close attention to this. A good blog post, and for you to get approved for Google AdSense, you need to have about us page, you need to have sitemap.xml on your blog, you need to have terms and condition, you need to have uh, privacy policy, you need to have a contact us page. If you have these five information, and I'm going to repeat here again: about us, contact us, sitemap.xml, privacy policy, and terms and condition. And then you write about perhaps 20 different blog posts. After you have written 20 blog posts, it won't be a bad idea. As a matter of fact, just go and apply for Google AdSense. Now, you might just be wondering, how do I apply for Google AdSense? Hmm, 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 hmm. Look at the description of this video. Everything you need to learn about blogging is given in detail. I want you to go through these four blog posts I've given in the description, and I want you to write an article. I will, by the end of next week, I'll tell you where you can submit your assignments. And if you are new and watching it for the first time, the idea is to create a blogger.com account and write about the four topics I have given in the description. But for now, if you want to get your Google AdSense approved, there you go. Bingo. Go through this, and this information would be more than enough for you to. This should help you in getting your AdSense approved. Still 17, so maybe you need to write for another 5, 6 more blogs, different blog posts, and then whatever is missing, privacy policy. Go and search internet for privacy policy, and just rewrite it in your own words and put that privacy policy button on your website. You should be good to go. And since you are living outside Pakistan, perhaps apply it from outside Pakistan rather than applying it from the country. Uh, because I applied from US, and I got my application approved in one go. I didn't have to wait. Even though back then, I'll be honest, I only had around 12 blog posts, but still got my AdSense approved. So if you are wondering how can you get your AdSense approved, I have given you the link. The request is click on the link, read it thoroughly, read it in detail, give yourself, do yourself a favor, go through this information in detail, and you'll get to know how you can approve AdSense in one go. Here's the link again. Click on this, go through the information, and you'll be able to get your AdSense approved. So, as a blogger, if you want to create your blog, people often ask, what is the best platform to do? What is the best platform to start writing about your blog? I would suggest pick WordPress. Even if you do not know how to develop a WordPress website, you can go to workchest.com and find a freelance work. On Workchest, you can find a freelance WordPress developer and hire them. Once you hire them, Make sure you negotiate the payments and the terms and conditions of payments. Get your website developed. Get a decent hosting account. There are many hosting websites that are literally, offering their services in pennies. Bluehost.com is my most favorite. Then there is uh, GoDaddy.com. So Shoaib is a WordPress developer. If you want to develop a WordPress website, get in touch with Shoaib Ahmed and he can develop your website. I don't know the guy, by the way. Do your due diligence, do your homework. Don't take my words for it. So here's an interesting thing that happened in my playlist of blogging on my main channel. I don't know why, and I never realized my words would be taken so seriously that people would go and buy, uh, you know, a lot of hosting accounts from that particular company. My channel was new. I didn't know that down the road my videos would be followed and people would watch my content. Uh, Pandemic has fueled a lot of traffic on my main channel. While covering the same topic, hosting for your blog post, I talked about a local host here from Pakistan. Little did I know that people would take my word for granted. They will go to that website and sign up. I found out later that no less than 500 people took my word for granted. They signed up with that hosting company, and that hosting company somehow was not as good as I initially thought. I did not have any arrangements with them. I should have signed a deal with them before I would, recommend their business to all the bloggers. But that was the very first time I realized that somehow, when you become a celebrity, you have to be careful and watchful about what you say and what you do. As a hosting company, uh, there are many service providers out there on the internet. Do your due diligence, do your homework, find out which website offers the best services. The hint I can give you is the best services means a good hosting account should give you a free domain name that needs to be renewed after 1 year, but free for 1 year. And a good hosting account should have a support staff on chat that is available 24/7. So if something goes wrong, their chat is always open and their support staff is one button away, one click away. So we talked about blogging, we talked about trending topics, we talked about keyword research, we talked about uh, AdSense, we talked about hosting, and one last thing about blogging you need to know: social media traffic. In the analytics section, when I showed you my Google Analytics, you saw that 60% and above traffic comes from social media. So social media means Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Whenever you post a blog, you should share your blog to your Facebook profile, to your pages, to your groups, maybe, to your LinkedIn, to your Instagram, to your Twitter, because it won't hurt you to get extra bit of traffic from all different social media accounts. You're just helping yourself with more traffic. If you look at the views I get on every single blog post, only 30% of the traffic comes from search results. The rest of the traffic actually comes from social media platforms, Facebook primarily. And for you to have a good presence on Facebook, the advice is focus hard on your Facebook profile. Create your Facebook presence. I've discussed that in detail in the beginning of this training. And once you do it, I think you've got everything absolutely done correctly. For TikTok is a very good platform to gain publicity. I would believe, you know what, glass half full, half empty. Instead of TikTok, I would focus on YouTube Shorts. You'll understand and you'll learn YouTube Shorts in detail tomorrow. TikTok has a pretty diversified audience. Thank you, Reem. Thank you. Thank you. 2021, I'm going to focus on this English channel. As you know, I wish to create all the playlists for different services such as freelancing, blogging, digital marketing, social media marketing, YouTube. So whatever I have on my Urdu channel, I want to replicate that in English because I'll be able to reach out to the international audience here. Uh, at the end of the day, when people view you all over the globe, you get to raise your brand better, and at the same time you grow better. How many people are watching this stream from outside Pakistan? Let's see. Now, since we have discussed blogging in detail, what has happened to my hair? So much for 1.5 mil jog. Even the gel has gone wrong. Anyways, how many of you, where are you from? Drop in your country, please. Insta Reels. Insta Reels is another interesting thing. Insta Story is an interesting thing. We discussed story in social media marketing. So there are people from Canada, there are people from US, there are people from London, there are people from India. That is why I'm focused on the English channel because somehow someone told me that you can speak well, you do not sound native. I don't know if that's a compliment, and you would do well as an English instructor on YouTube. So I'm riding my luck here for this channel, and when you start videos after 10 and stretch it till 12, what does that mean, 10 to 12? Is that minutes or something? I apologize. So if, yeah, thank you. West 10 Travel, thank you. What is your name, by the way, if I may ask? Maroof is from Bangladesh. So for a change, I was looking for Bangladeshi friends day before yesterday, but you guys were missing in the class. I feel a native language is lesser competition. Sir, can we ask questions if we have? Go ahead. Let's just, for the next 20 minutes, let's take your questions. Shoot. But they have to be relevant. We are discussing blogging here. I'm providing AdSense approval service. So get in touch with Let's Be Techie, and if they can help you out, wonderful. So it's 12 o'clock. So what is the question, Anif? When will you start speaking in English with all of you? When you start speaking English with all of you? So you guys need video call, huh? Video call. Can I do like marketing? Yes, you can like marketing. No, I won't suggest Wix for blogging. I would suggest WordPress for blogging. I mean, do it correctly at first place, instead of you starting with Wix and then later on shifting and switching the platform from Wix to WordPress. All major blogs are created in WordPress. WordPress was actually created for blogging, so focus on WordPress. Kindly provide some information about how to get Google algorithm update. You get to see Google algorithm updates if you sign up for SEO Journal, SEO Webmaster Tools. You will get all the updates inside your panel. But SEO Journal is actually a good blog. Go and subscribe to that. Sir, is news blogging worth doing? Hasnan, I would vouch for it. Go for it, bro. There's no harm in doing it. How to get free do follow backlinks? So, for backlinks, uh, there was a website I gave all the students. They, you know what? Hold on for a second. And in this process, I'm going to have tons of new messages, and I hate doing this. But this is an important question, so let's take time out. There you go. Whoever has asked this question, backlinks. Backlink is one example I gave. Rishav knows, but if you go through the website link I have given, this website has around 180 different do follow blog backlinks. But the point I want to, you know, uh, emphasize here is, and you must take a note of it, a relevant backlink would make more sense to Google bots than an irrelevant backlink. So if you have a blog that talks about education, a backlink coming from an education website would make more sense to Google rather than a high backlink coming from, let's say, politics. Pay a close attention to the relevancy of backlink. I am running cricket blog. I have Facebook pages, 250K likes. Can you give me an effective tips? Shoaib, focus on short videos. If you've got a cricket blog, I would advise you to create a YouTube channel. And on your YouTube channel, you can actually gain a lot of new subscribers. YouTube Shorts. Watch out for my class tomorrow. Tomorrow is YouTube, Friday. And you guys are going to get a shock of your life that for 30 seconds, how I ended up getting 1,000 new subscribers without paying a single penny. YouTube Shorts. Same goes for Instagram Reels. Uh, okay, thank you. That's fine. What SEO plugins apart from Yoast would you suggest using? So I would vouch for all-in-one SEO pack. Yoast is good plugin, but I have been using all-in-one SEO pack for 4 years now. No complaints. Okay, let me ask you, please. You are our guru. Tell me only by that. I mean, me only. What is your pick for startup as a blogger and you are a beginner like me? My advice to you would be focus on one niche, one category, one domain of expertise. Get a blog on WordPress. Start writing about it. Install Grammarly widget. Focus on trending topics. Share on your social media accounts, and that's it. That's the only advice I would give you. Is it necessary add links in the blog? What kind of links we can add? Look, the ratio is 3 to 1, so 3 internal links and 1 external link. That's what Google usually prefers. That's what I have found out through my experience. It is not a hard and fast rule, but as someone who has been doing it for last 4 years, uh, what I have found is Google prefers lot more internal links than external links because Google wants to know that you've got a firm grip over a topic, you are an authority, you've been talking about this previously as well, so therefore you have linked to your previous blog post. And at the same time, if there's something that needs citation, outbound link is uh, given weightage by Google bots. So a relevancy of 3 to 1. three internal links and one external link. Uh, Being Guru 2.0, sir, will you be live on Facebook? I'm not live on Facebook, except, yeah, I'm live on my Being Guru page. Since it is Being Guru, so I am live on my Being Guru Facebook page as well. 3 to 1 links, whoever is talking about 3 to 1. Yeah, Amir, KGR trending, KGR search actually matters a lot. But the reason why I never talk about KGR in my live training is because 99% of the audience, they're beginners. And I do not want to confuse them with KGR. As a matter of fact, what if I tell you one of the best ways of assessing a keyword depth, its competition, and its difficulty is through uh, organic search result on Google. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So internal and external links. I own a blog called Being Guru. We were writing about freelancing. Freelance definition was the topic. And I say Upwork. Previously I've written a blog post on Upwork, on Being Guru, a different blog post. So if I click on Upwork and I send the traffic to another blog post on Being Guru, it's called internal linking. But if I send them outside Being Guru, let's say abc.com, and that talks about freelancing, it's called external linking. So a link that is sent to within your website is called internal linking, and a link that is sent outside your website is called external linking. Amir, now I hope you get your answer. This is the kind of basic questions I get to ask. Do you know Kamal Muhammad? He's a real gem, an Amazon affiliate blogger. I don't know him. सर आजकल लोगों का फेसबुक पेजेस डिलीट हो रहे हैं. आई हैव नो आइडिया क्यों डिलीट हो रहे हैं भैया. Sir, want details about writing blogging beginners. That's what we discussed, and that's what we have been discussing in the last 2 hours. Next week Thursday, we are going to discuss rest of the information. We're going to briefly touch KGR as well. We're going to talk about backlinks, because initially I wanted to do these training for 1 week, but then I realized 2 hours won't suffice, and I need to have more time allocated to each topic. So KGR, don't worry about it. Next Thursday, focus on keyword competition. The best way to search the keywords is go to google.com, type in. You must have noticed that I've got many widgets installed on my top browser. So I have keywords everywhere. I have Moz. I have give me a second. Okay. So I have keywords everywhere. I have SEO Moz. I have Grammarly. So if you do not have internal links initially, the best advice is start writing different blog posts. So once you have written like 10 different blog posts, then surely you can go back to the first blog post and start connecting with one another. That's how you do it. सर आपने फ्रीलांसिंग में क्या स्किल ऑफर की है? नाम अंग्रेजों वाला है, हरकतें इसकी देसियों वाली हैं. Sir, I have created my blog, but it does not appear if I search. It takes time. Funune Urdu, it takes time. Nothing happens overnight. Okay, yeah, I have changed my background. Okay, what about writing blog, reading ebook summaries, and providing book summaries, video link, and Audible? One best way to do it. But alongside writing a blog, I would request you to create a YouTube channel and talk about this in a YouTube video. Here's something interesting I need to show you. For example, I take you to my screen here, share screen, and very interesting thing I'm about to show you. Let's see backlink. There you go, share. So I go to Google and I search freelancing, okay? freelancing, just a pure keyword freelancing. Even though I'm able to rank in the for this keyword on my second page, but really does not make any difference unless and until I'm on the first page. But hey, I am on a first page in another way, and that is I have got my YouTube video ready. Bingo! I've got my YouTube video ranked. As a freelancer, as a blogger, never ever focus on blog post only. The advice is focus on YouTube videos as well. So there comes a chance, there comes a point, you get a chance that for a keyword, if your blog post is not indexed in top 10 search results, your video might just pop up. So I search for freelancing, the blog post doesn't show up, but my video does. So this is why I emphasize on interconnecting everything. Blogging and video platform YouTube go hand by hand. At the end of the day, both are Google search results or YouTube. Both are alphabet companies. Alphabet, commonly known as the Google. सर मैंने आपको मेरा मैसेज पता नहीं क्या मेरा मुरा लगा हुआ है. If you can write in English, I'll answer. If you can't write in English, don't waste your energies. This is it, folks. I guess please start AdSense course. Look, Devang, for AdSense, this is something we just briefly touched upon. I'm about to give you a link again. Click on this link. Go through the details of this blog post. You will understand everything in detail. PayHip accept Payoneer or not? PayHip only accepts PayPal. Okay, Abdul Qadir? I hope this makes sense now. How to convert buyers from Amazon affiliate article? A very interesting question. So you need to write an article that focuses on affiliate link. Okay. Now I want you to take, have I shared my screen yet? Yeah, I've shared my screen. So I want you to see what's happening here. Books. I search for books, okay? Forget about books. I talk about, okay. 7 must read books for attaining success. I click on this blog post. I'm on beangguru.com. Loading as we speak, huh? So I go through this blog post and the title says 7 must read books for attaining success. I talk about 7 books here. 48 Laws of Power, Bionomics, and then Alchemist from Paulo, and then there is Invention, Intentional Living, Choosing a Life That Matters, The First and Last Freedom, Getting Everything, and then Think and Grow Rich. The 7 books link to Amazon affiliate account. So for example, I covered this topic in detail. About 12,000 and above people have viewed this blog post. And if they want to buy a book, for example, if they want to buy 48 Laws of Power, they are taken directly to Amazon. If they go on and buy, I as an Amazon associate, I as an Amazon affiliate get to make money per sale. I did not talk about this because I wanted to talk about this in Saturday's class of digital products. This is what I say, automated passive income. So what I do is I pick a product from Amazon affiliate, I get its link, come back to my blog, write a detailed blog post about it, And then somewhere in the blog post, I supply a link. I have sold over 200 rich dad and poor dad books, paper books, that is, on Amazon alone. Over 200 in 2020. So, this is it, folks. It was a nice class about blogging. Unfortunately, couldn't complete the blog post because that requires detailed research on the stats. Tomorrow is YouTube. We're going to talk about how to build a YouTube channel. And we're going to talk about how to scale your YouTube to the point where you start to get organic viewership. Many of you are probably watching me for the first time. If you are uh, brave enough, I would request you to come on front and drop in the comments. Uh, how did you come across this video? How did you find this video? Were you recommended by YouTube? Perhaps are you coming from my LinkedIn or social media profiles? The point is, everybody has got a fair chance of getting new visitors on their YouTube channel. Everybody gets a fair chance of getting new subscribers, loyal subscribers of their YouTube channel. So Shinron says they've come from Facebook on to this YouTube channel. Let's see if there are more people who come in front and talk about this. Anthony Scooter, I don't know what are you referring to. Google will begin to index your blog posts. It takes time. I followed you on Facebook and like your post. That's fine. I come live daily and I schedule my posts in advance. So all you are requested to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon. So whenever I schedule a post in advance, you'll get the advanced notification. And I usually do it 6 hours in advance every single day. So regardless of the time I come live on my YouTube and on my Facebook account, all you are requested to do is just subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Whenever I schedule a post, you'll get a notification. This is my third video. I heard you about from GFX Mentor, but didn't take you seriously. So much for the compliment, huh? So which skill or services do you offer and find more interesting in freelancing? That would be social media marketing. I love spending people's money on Facebook and Facebook-owned companies. Zed says from YouTube. Okay, that's fine. Saad says, glad I did. Okay. Love from north of Pakistan. Got here from Facebook post. Lot of love. Thank you, sir. Okay. Because I love you, I got signals in my heart. This sounds pretty exciting. Thank you, Prajwal. So last question. If I have old duty content on my website and now start writing good content on it, will my website, revising and refreshing your content is what the doctor orders. So this Hanif is chasing you everywhere, and Facebook, YouTube, being all you have given us access. Okay, not sure who is this Hanif, but anyways. Wonderful. Wonderful. Almost 1 week ago from Finland, if that's what I said. Please send YouTube link. You need to go to YouTube and search Being Guru 2.0. You'll be able to find my channel. That is one best way of staying up to date with my advanced scheduling. And I plan to come live almost every single day of this month. There's a reason, and everybody would get to know about that as we start, doing it regularly. Thank you, Amir. Thank you. Yeah. So this is it, folks. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Subscribe to YouTube channel so that you get advanced notification. And tomorrow we're going to talk about YouTube. We're going to talk about how to create a YouTube channel from scratch, how to get YouTube viewership. We're going to talk about YouTube Shorts. We're going to talk about YouTube Stories. And this is going to be interesting. But if you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to it, you would do me a lot of favor here. Take care and till tomorrow.